Some moments begin so quietly that no one notices history has entered the room. Jesus was eating with friends in Bethany, and the evening seemed perfectly ordinary. But one woman was not there merely to share a meal. She had come carrying a burden hidden deep within her heart. And in the next few moments, this quiet woman would do something so unexpected that the entire room would fall silent. Her name was Mary of Bethany. She wasn't a queen, a prophet, or a religious leader. She was simply a woman whose life had been forever changed by Jesus. Just 2 miles from Jerusalem lay the quiet village of Bethany. It wasn't famous for wealth or power, but it became home to one of Jesus' closest families. This was the home of 3 siblings, Martha, Lazarus, and Mary, but they welcomed Jesus into their home as family. While others admired Jesus from a distance, Mary chose something different. She sat at his feet, not merely to hear his words, but to know his heart. But their faith was about to be tested. A sickness entered their home, and before long, everything changed. Then, without warning, tragedy knocked on their door. Lazarus, the brother Mary loved dearly, became gravely ill. Knowing there was only one who could help, the sisters sent an urgent message to Jesus. "Lord, the one you love isn't well." The messenger found Jesus and delivered the news. Everyone expected him to leave immediately. After all, this wasn't just another family. But instead of leaving for Bethany, Jesus stayed where he was. To everyone watching, his delay made no sense. Yet what looked like silence was part of a greater purpose that no one could yet see. The unthinkable had happened. Lazarus was gone. The home that once echoed with laughter had fallen silent. The one who had healed strangers had not come for his friends. The questions were painful. Then, 4 days after Lazarus had been laid in the tomb, a familiar figure appeared on the road to Bethany. Jesus had finally arrived. With a heart weighed down by grief, Martha spoke. The words had echoed in her mind for days.
"Lord, if you had been here, my brother wouldn't be gone."
Jesus answered with words that carried both comfort and authority. "Your brother will rise again. Whoever believes in me will live, even though they die." After comforting Martha, Jesus remained where he was, waiting.
"The teacher is here, and he is asking for you." The moment Mary heard it, she rushed out of the house. The mourners followed closely behind.
The moment she saw him, Mary fell at his feet. Through tears she cried,
"Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died."
Then came 2 of the most powerful words ever recorded in Scripture. Jesus wept. Before revealing his power, he revealed his heart. Jesus asked to be taken to the place where Lazarus had been laid. Step by step, the crowd followed him to the tomb. Then Jesus gave an unexpected command, "Take away the stone." Martha hesitated. 4 days had passed, and she feared what lay behind it. Looking at Martha, Jesus gently reminded her, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you the glory of God?" Those words rekindled the faith that grief had nearly buried. As the stone rolled away, the crowd stood frozen in anticipation. What lay beyond that dark entrance would become one of the greatest signs of Jesus' ministry. With the tomb now open, every eye turned toward Jesus. Death had held Lazarus for 4 days, and no one expected what would happen next. Before speaking to the tomb, Jesus looked toward heaven and prayed, not because he lacked power. Then, with a voice that carried both authority and life itself, Jesus cried out, "Lazarus, come out!" The impossible happened. From the darkness of the tomb came the sound of movement. The one whom death had claimed was walking back into the light. Before their very eyes, Lazarus stepped out of the tomb. The man they had buried, the man they had mourned for 4 long days, was alive.
Jesus simply said, "Unbind him and let him go." The grave clothes were removed, but something else had been broken that day. Fear no longer had the final word.
For Mary, this wasn't just a miracle. She had witnessed the one who held authority over death itself. But while Bethany celebrated, another story was unfolding in Jerusalem. The miracle that strengthened Mary's faith also hardened the hearts of Jesus' enemies. 6 days before the Passover, Jesus returned to Bethany. A dinner was prepared in his honor at the home of Simon the leper. The man who had once walked out of a tomb now sat at the table with the one who had given him life. Once wrapped in grave clothes, now clothed in hope. To many, it was a celebration, a meal shared among friends. But while everyone else enjoyed the evening, Mary couldn't shake the weight of Jesus' recent words. All things that are written by the prophets concerning the Son of Man shall be accomplished. Yet few truly understood what he meant. He had foretold his betrayal. Unlike the others, Mary listened carefully whenever Jesus spoke. She remembered his warnings about rejection, suffering, and death. What no one else at that table realized was that Mary had already made a decision. The treasure she carried was no ordinary possession. This was no impulsive gesture. Long before she entered that room, Mary had already counted the cost. She knew exactly what she was about to surrender. Then, without hesitation, Mary broke the alabaster jar. It was a treasure worth nearly a year's wages. Then, in a moment of profound surrender, Mary reached for her hair. There was no hesitation, no concern for the eyes watching her. Then Mary wiped Jesus' feet with her hair. John records this detail deliberately. She didn't reach for a towel, she didn't call for a servant, she used her own glory to serve him. But the atmosphere changed. To Judas Iscariot, the perfume represented money that could have been used elsewhere. Judas questioned the act, asking why the perfume had not been sold and the money given to the poor. What Mary considered an offering of love, Judas considered waste. But Jesus did not call Mary's act wasteful. Instead, he defended her, and his response would reveal something that changes the entire meaning of this moment. Jesus then explained why Mary's act mattered. She had anointed his body unknowingly as a preparation for what was coming. And notice what Mary had done. The jar was emptied, the fragrance was released, and nothing was held back. Mary was someone who stayed while Martha was occupied with serving. Mary chose to sit at Jesus' feet and hear his words.
She wasn't just present in the room.
She was listening, and when Jesus repeatedly spoke about what was to come, his words found a place in her heart. The disciples heard Jesus speak about it too, but again and again. Mary, however, had learned something the others often overlooked.
So when Mary finally poured out that perfume, it wasn't just a spontaneous emotional moment. It came from a relationship built over time.
That alabaster jar wasn't an ordinary bottle of perfume. John tells us that the perfume was pure nard, and Judas estimated its value at 300 denarii. So why did Mary anoint Jesus' feet with such an expensive perfume and wipe them with her hair? Mary's perfume was expensive, her act was controversial, and her choice to use her hair made the moment deeply personal. But the heart of the story isn't the perfume or even the hair. It's what those things represented. When Mary poured out that perfume, she wasn't simply performing a ritual. She was responding to everything she had experienced with Jesus.
She didn't know exactly how the story would unfold, but she knew enough to give Jesus what was precious to her.
And perhaps that's why Jesus defended her so strongly. Others saw an expensive perfume being wasted. Jesus saw an act of sacrifice.
Mary's story reminds us that true devotion doesn't always announce itself. She wasn't trying to impress the people around her. She simply recognized the value of the one standing before her. What do we consider too valuable to give to God? Is it our time, because we're always busy? Our comfort? Mary's worship cost her something. The perfume was valuable. The moment was uncomfortable. People misunderstood what she was doing, yet she still gave. And maybe that's where Mary's story becomes personal. Because the question isn't simply, what can I give God? The deeper question is, what am I still holding back? Her story reminds us that we don't need to be famous, powerful, or important in the eyes of the world to leave an impact. So, what are you still holding back? What would happen if you stopped holding on and completely surrendered it to Jesus? Surrender your heart today and see what Jesus would make out of you. God bless you.